Hello everyone, we are here for another segment of Talk with STEM Leaders, and today we are privileged to have Ashwin Shah from RoboFun Labs, and he is going to share with us his experiences and his anecdotes to help us understand STEM better and to encourage us why to pursue STEM related options as a career and as an academic choice. So Ashwinji, the stage is all yours. We want to hear from you, your experience at World Robot Olympiad and your journey in this field.
Hi Bhuvan, and hi everyone who is going to listen to this entire series. So first of all, Bhuvan, thanks to you and your team for inviting me and having me here in the series of your Talk with STEM Leaders. My relationship with India STEM Foundation is almost 10 years old now and is growing strong with each and every passing year, right? I started participating in World Robot Olympiad in 2013, and just so happy to share that since 2013, there has not been a single year where our team has not stood in the top 3 rankings and have not qualified for World Robot Olympiad. Another privilege that we have bought it for India was 2017 was the year when Lego announced a Lego Creativity Award in World Robot Olympiad International Chapter. And we had a team in the open category called Team Archimedes. We went to Costa Rica after winning in India here, and we became the first recipient, the first ever recipient of Lego Creativity Award. So we have a very fruitful journey with World Robot Olympiad along with India STEM Foundation, right? So thank you so much for having me here. In 2013 and 14 and 15, I used to come with the teams from one of the international schools of Rajkot. But eventually I realized that I'm reaching out to minimal number of students with the school. And that is where I went on to start my own venture on the name of RoboFun Lab with one of the co-founders, Mr. Manoj Patel. So since then, there has been no looking back. And until 2019, until the pandemic, we used to train on an average 55 to 60 teams every year for World Robot Olympiad for various regional and national chapters. And years like 2017, 2019, and 2021, these are the golden years for us as far as World Robot Olympiad is concerned, because we have achieved the top positions across all 3 regular categories across these 3 years. So yes, World Robot Olympiad goes well with us, and we seem to have gained a good grip over the competition. And we have seen immense growth in the students participating in these competitions. And even today, we have certain students who have been doing WRO since 2015-16 with us, and they were in senior high category this year. So it has been a very good relation for all of us.
Excellent, excellent. Garvi Gujarat ke robot champions. I'm so thrilled to hear that. Right. And your journey for the past decade and more, it's really inspiring for the young ones who are tuned into this channel and watching this video. Your answer, sort of begs me to ask you, why are industry leaders so interested in STEM education these days? What is that thing that is motivating industry leaders to support you and to push you into this field and encourage you in this field? If you could tell our audience about that.
So Bhuvan, we are standing at the doorsteps, or I would rather say we have already taken the baby steps in the field of Industrial Revolution 4.0. Everything needs automation, everything needs a skilled manpower, everything needs a lot of programming, a lot of robots and a lot of machineries to replace humans and increase the productivity of their outcomes, right? And that is where industry leaders are really keen on the topics of STEM, and they want more and more STEM graduates to come out so that they can be the main helping hand or the main innovators in this field. We know that everything, every single doorstep, every single thing has technology involved in it, right? And that is where STEM graduates are in utmost demand, and they are the most sought after graduates across the globe. And as you know, the most famous personality these days has rightly said, as Elon Musk has rightly said, It's not your degree which is going to lend you your dream job, but it's your skill that's going to lend you your dream job. And the STEM skills are the most sought after skills for any tech field or any other field that you are looking at. So that is the reason that people are behind those STEM graduates.
So now that you've hinted upon it, STEM skills, as you say, are the most sought after. How important is hands-on training for these skills? Because, for some of the students, it may seem a lot alien because they've never seen certain, sensors or drives or automation happen. How important is hands-on training for these people?
Bhuvan, I would like to start with a basic example. It's not just kids to whom this looks alien. We have been to schools where we go with the Lego models and the trustees tell us that Ashwinbhai asu ramakda sathe avya cho. For them, this is a toy. They do not see the education value out of the toy when they see Lego. When they see Lego, they do not see any education or say the playful learning outcome out of these toys. And 70% of the local schools stick us out saying, these toys do not work in the school. We want real education, right? So the problem is in the base. And what we usually say is, learning by doing is one of the best and the most proven methods of the significant learning that a child can take place.
Wow.
Right. So learning by doing is definitely the way forward. And that is something that should be implemented across boards, across grades, across channels, across cities, across villages. And to realize this dream in a bigger way, I think Narendra Modi, under his leadership with Niti Aayog, has taken a wonderful step on the name of Atal Innovation Mission, right? Where they have went on to establish Atal Tinkering Labs. They are doing a lot more beyond Atal Tinkering Labs like AICC, Atal Innovation Community Centers, to train the teachers, to spread more awareness about hands-on learning, to spread awareness about tinkering in Atal Incubation Centers. Just to add, I am also one of the mentor of change as appointed by Niti Aayog. And I also work with multiple schools to help them curate a proper curriculum and execute it across. So it's like hands-on learning is something that's going to instigate child's learning in a positive way. And that is something that every teacher should look upon.
Excellent, excellent. And talking about the subject of teachers, it is one of your foremost goals. You gave us an example of what senior teachers and principals, express myths and misconceptions. Please share some more anecdotes on that area so that, the young people who are watching this channel can overcome those hurdles by understanding how to visualize these misconceptions and how to overcome them.
So hands-on learning, the major misconception is, like only if my child wants to pursue her career or his career in the technical field, they should pursue their basic activities or areas of interest in STEM. But that's not right. This is the major misconception all across India. See, STEM, although no doubt it is going to increase your technical capabilities and your deeper understanding towards science, technology, engineering, and math. But at the same time, if you take up STEM in hands-on learning manner, it is going to give you a lot more life skill development than what you have imagined of. You gain a lot of expertise in your teamwork. You can be a very good leader. You can be a very good negotiator. You can be a very good entrepreneur as well. It's all about how good a problem solver you are, how good a leader you are. All those things are something that's going to matter a lot moving forward in life. We are not living in 1990s or 2000s where your college degree and based on that, the kind of training that you receive in a company is going to help you. Even when we deal with various robotics program, like I'm sure India STEM Foundation has been the organizer for competitions like First Lego League as well and First Tech Challenge for a few seasons, right? Children develop a lot of entrepreneurial and presentation skills. They develop a lot of leadership skills all through these competitions. I still remember my FTC teams sitting down, making a business plan and going to each and every leader and pitching that, sir, although our parents are from very well-to-do family, we aim to be a self-sustainable team. Can you fund us? This is our business plan. Imagine a child in 9th and 10th grade going from door to door, pitching their business idea or pitching what is it that they're learning from robotics and trying to raise funds.
Wow, excellent.
In this 5 years, Bhuvan, we have raised more than 2 million INR through these competitions through the students. And they have all been on the self-sustainable mode, right? So it's not just your technical skills. STEM fields like enhances your life skills in the way that you might have not even thought of.
Wow, wow. This is really an eye-opener, Ashwin. I must really thank you for sharing this insight from your experience. But all of these things seem very heavy, it seems that they are leaning towards certain kind of children, but I'm sure that self-learning is something that everybody can practice. And our audience would want to hear from you. What is that one subject, one topic, one activity that you have self-learned and that others can also strive to do?
So Bhuvan, for my case, I have a very clear case study to showcase. Yes. I'm an electronics engineer by profession. And I was just given a task by one of the persons. Hey, Ashwin, this is a robotics kit. You are interested in educating students, right? You have applied for a post of a physics educator being an EC engineer. Why don't you explore this kit and show me what can be done with it with the students?
Yes.
Okay. And that is how my journey of self-learning with a Lego Mindstorms kit started. Wow. I went through YouTube videos, and then I was fortunate enough to look back upon certain leaders at that time and eventually learn everything on my own. Today, 12 books that I have written on various STEM topics for EV3s and different Lego materials, and the books that are being published and used for specifically RoboFun Lab have the Indian copyright. And on the top of it, my book recently got published, which is called Build and Code Creative Robots with Lego Boost. And I was roped in by a very commendable publication house called Peck Publication House, which is based out of UK. And the book is launched just 3 days back with international market appeal of UK and US. So my self-learning journey has been good. And I have been learning things on my own. I have been exploring things on my own and eventually implementing it. One thing that God has gifted me is a good writing skill. So what I try to do is once I learn things, I try to materialize it in the form of a curriculum, a structured curriculum, so that it can not just be taught to one student, but it can be taught to n number of students. Wow. And that is how things have been.
Excellent. And Ashwin, replicable models are what we are trying to achieve through STEM education all across India, that this spreads like a wildfire. Students, they self-learn and are inspired by their teachers and mentors, and they achieve great feats. And talking about great feats, children are also curious, young minds are curious with regards to what are some of the challenges that they may have to solve for in the future, and they want to peer in the future. And through you, we would want to understand from your vast experience, what can they expect to solve in the future? If you could share some of your insights.
Before diving deep into the future, the present examples, sometimes it seems like, okay, STEM is really deep. How can I be an innovator at such a young age and stuff like that? I will give you a very basic example. I have a student called Mr. Shiv Kampani. He just turned 18. 4 years back, he was vacationing in Canada in summers, and a fire broke out in his house, in his building, basically. And he suddenly realized that although I had the gas detectors installed at my home, I was not intimated because I was not at home. What is something based out of my learning that I can execute or I can apply so that I can innovate here and solve the existing challenge? He did a very simple job. He understood how a fire detecting or a gas detector alarm works. He added a simple IoT feature in it on his own with our help. And today that device called SenseSafe, we hold a provisional patent on this name. What he did was he simply added an IoT feature. He designed his own circuit, he designed his own case, and we tested it. And the way it works is when there is a gas leakage at home, Even if you are not at home, you get an SMS, you get an email, you get a phone call, so that you can immediately take the actions that are needed to be taken, and it goes on, right? So children need to look around. What are some of the persistent problems, and how can they include technology in it, and how can they solve it for the betterment of humans? See, it's not that only if they solve a problem pertaining to my living in Mars, or to me going to moon, or to me helping a robot that can help in war and save human lives is a great innovation. For me, such small rendering is also a great innovation, because at the end of the day, it's going to help the mankind.
Yes.
Right? So what kids should aim for is, how can I solve certain prominent problems by adding technology to it, so that I can be helpful to the mankind. And such small innovations will gradually lead them to the larger amount of innovations that they are looking at.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ashwin, very well said. STEM education and the options that come out of it, the solutions that come out of it are a step ahead of Jugaad mentality that we had a couple of decades ago. It is more concrete, more organized, and very structured. And it is in that way that we also want to understand from you what are some of the STEM careers that school students can aspire for? Are these only limited to the science background students, or students from humanities and commerce can also benefit from STEM education?
To answer this question, Bhuvan, again, coming to a very basic point, a commerce student, say for example, in future, he is aiming to be one of the best stockbroker investors or an equity market investor and stuff like that. In the time that is decades ago, people used to just look at the books, look at the amounts, and look at the balance sheets, and used to take a call about the future. But now it's all about analyzing the trends. So imagine a lethal combination of a student where he's a commerce graduate with a very detailed knowledge of data analysis.
Wow.
Imagine how much successful he can be in his field with this combination.
Excellent.
And imagine if he knows a basic Python programming, and he can simply write a code based on the formula that he has in mind, based on the logic that he has in mind, and he just automates the entire system.
Yes.
How fast can he analyze the things? How fast can he take the decisions? And how successful he can be?
Exactly. And taking the conversation forward from how successful a person can be, we want to understand, given your success at the World Robot Olympiads, how has that changed your worldview? Because you must have competed with hundreds of teams from across the globe. And I know last year there were about 66 international representations with more than 70,000 children participating. How has that competition over the years, boosted your confidence, morale, your understanding of the world? Please share your thoughts on that.
So until I went, I came to World Robot Olympiad competitions, right? In our Gujarati, it's like a kahavat. I was a frog which was just confined to a well. And World Robot Olympiad made me a frog which is not just confined to a well, but now I am in an ocean. And the opportunities are ample. It's up to me, what is it that I'm going to gain? So the most important thing is the culture that we see. Apart from that, we also understand what are different training methodologies that different countries apply. You see a stark difference. If you see a team from Europe coming, they are coming for more of fun, more of life skills. For them, okay, the robot should work, but they are like, I want to learn. Whereas when you see the teams coming from India, Singapore, Malaysia, China, Taiwan, I want to be first. I want to top the charts. And that is the major difference that you see. That is the kind of culture that you understand. You learn how to interact with people. You learn a lot from them technically as well. If we used to construct the robot in manner A, we see more of robots from Taiwan and Malaysia and Singapore and stuff like that. We learn, we evolve. We see their programming techniques, we network with them. Our coaches do a lot of networking in those aspects. They learn a lot from them, and then they eventually come back and implement it with the students. So the major thing is students who are going to come up in the next seasons, they benefit a lot from our learnings, because when we go to one particular competition, we try to learn two new things. And when we learn those two new things, we make sure that those two new things are given in a proper way to the students who are incoming in the next batches. And for me, my WRO journey has been wonderful and progressing. Apart from being participating coach in World Robot Olympiad, I have been invited as the judge and referee as well for the international chapters. So I have been serving for like judging and refereeing part for various open invitational first Lego leagues. I was a referee for World Robot Olympiad soccer category in World Robot Olympiad 2019, 2018 Thailand Chiang Mai chapter. So depending on the workload that we have at RoboFun Lab, I usually commit to various judging roles as well at the international event. So learning has been immense. And every time we participate in an event, whether it's a regional event, national event, or an international event, we still feel like to be the learners. We don't feel that, okay, we know everything for this and we don't need to look at anything. We still feel that, okay, that there is still something that's missing and we need to learn. So this World Robot Olympiad as a platform gives us an immense opportunity of learning and growing. And the most important thing is networking.
Yes, yes. And with networking, I also understand cognitive learning, as you said, is most important. You learn from each other and you share your experiences with each other. But, to be honest, Ashwin, I know you as a leader in the STEM area. How easy or difficult or important is the value of teamwork? Because you train teams, you represent teams, you judge teams. How as a leader do you manage teamwork and working with different personalities to achieve your target and give results and win Robot Olympiads?
So Bhuvan, the saying goes as it is, teamwork makes the dream work. That's the first and the foremost thing that everybody needs to understand. Any competition, may it be World Robot Olympiad or first competitions or anything, all these are team events. So the first thing first that we do at RoboFun Lab is, like when we get the students for the competitions, we conduct team building activities and then eventually team up the students based on their potentials and not based on their friendships. That is the first thing that we do. Apart from that, each and every team member is given a very specific role that they have to undergo and then they have to follow all across the season. But more importantly, we also ensure that there is a cross-platform knowledge exchange that takes place. And that is where students feel a lot more connected to the entire challenge, entire program. Right, so that is the most important aspect. Apart from that, we have learned a lot from the core value building sessions from first Lego League, and we try to implement those values in our day-to-day lives with the students. Wow. So it's not that all these things are really smooth, and it's not that by implementing these practices we never see students coming and fighting with each other, or we never see any fights or dissatisfactions or complaints happening. We do see that, but over the period of time, we have learned how to resolve that and ensure that each and every team member has a feeling that teamwork is the most important aspect. For me, as an individual, I should put team first, then an individual. Wow. That is something that we try to instill across all participants at RoboFun Lab. That is the first and the foremost thing.
Definitely. Now, excellent, inspirational, insight into why teamwork is most important. And now, given that we have paucity of time, 2 quick answers from you.
Okay.
And this is, what is your favorite equation of all subjects?
I don't go with equations, go.
Equation, formula, code. What
E is equal to MC square. The most universal equation seems to be the most favorite one as well. But more on the top of it, I believe that action is like reaction is almost equivalent to the action. So the more the efforts that you put, the more the better learning outcomes and the impact that you can create in the world. So that is something that we always believe in.
Excellent. And the second rapid fire answer that we want from you is, what is that one tool or technology that took you a very long time to master?
So Bhuvan, to be very frank, I still struggle with CAD.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You know, this coming from someone like you, but it is really, you know, for children who are struggling with it. The thing is, you know, it's keen to understand for them that they have to keep at it to, you know, keep learning it. So that's most important. Okay,
Right.
now that you know, children when Corona set in, children took to digital classes easily, and now they are joining schools again, and you know, setting up STEM clubs. Do you have any tips for them now that they're setting up STEM clubs across schools across India?
Yes. So see, for me, STEM club in the school should be a very inclusive club, which should be student driven, accompanied by an enthusiastic and a passionate teacher. The first and the foremost mistake that a school does is they forcibly allot a science or a math or a computer teacher to the program, and the teacher is not ready to, you know, take up those responsibilities, and then the outcomes are not quite evident. So students should take an initiative to set up a STEM club. See, it's not like Lego is the only option to learn STEM. Based on the budgets that the school has, based on the resources that the school and students can make available with, they should definitely get started with a STEM club. They should involve all the interested students as well as the educators across their schools, and they should have a 2-year or a 3-year plan where they should graduate themselves from that plan, and they should participate in various events. Because, you know, like when you participate in an event, A, you get an exposure of what the world is doing right now, and B, you also get to test yourself that where do I stand based on the learnings that I'm undertaking. But yes, it has to be student driven, supported by schools and their teachers. Only then a STEM club can be successful, because you need passionate people to work in it. Only when passionate people come to work in it, you get the ambience of that. And based on that ambience, you can pull more and more crowd, and you can then have a wildfire movement.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ashwin. I am sure this talk is going to inspire a lot of young ones, and they are going to be more future ready than they were before they had heard this talk. And we thank you for, you know, sparing time and sharing your experiences with the young generation who are going to innovate on various technologies using STEM. And we wish you all the best in all your endeavors. And we hope you'll get India laurels in World Robot Olympiad in years to come.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhuvan, and thank you for having me here. And I'm sure kids and every other audience is going to enjoy watching this talk series.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ashwin.